Hi YouTube, I thought I could just sit and chat with you. Oh, there's chocolate on my shirt. Yes, FYI, I just licked that off. It happened. One of my favorite t-shirts for obvious reasons, because I do. Anyway, so here's what I want to talk about. So obviously I wanted to keep you updated on my whole new macro / calorie deficit / intermittent fasting. How's it all going? Well, it's not so bad. There's been some up and downs because, like, obviously my biggest weakness is later on at night. I don't want to say like late or anything like that. Like, I still like want to just binge or snack a little, even on just like really bad stuff. And so that's been like the hardest part, is that like I always just want to do that and it really stinks. So hopefully I can get more of that under control. So that's why I'm like, okay, 7 o'clock, I'm gonna stop. Because what I've done is done it to where it's from 11 to 7, so I get my 8 hours. And another thing I noticed too is that once 11 o'clock hits, I'm just like wanting to eat everything pretty much. And then I feel like I'm forcing myself to eat at some points, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to do that. Like, because that's not healthy to make yourself eat when you're not hungry. Like, that was the point of intermittent fasting, was because I don't like to eat breakfast and, you know, eat right away in the morning kind of thing. And so that's why I thought this would work for me. But anyway, then I was just like, dude, you got 8 hours. Settle the chuck down and you'll get this squared away. So it'll be alright. So anyways, yes, I had chocolate on my shirt, and I did snack on something that was chocolate. Now, again, I'm also following macros and calories and everything. So having like, what did I have? A Reese cup that I split with my daughter, because grocery store had a sale where you buy 5 products, you get 5 for free when it came to like little snack candies in the aisle. And of course I got on top of it and threw them all in the freezer, because that's me. And my daughter saw the Reese cups and she wanted, well, she wanted the whole package, but I only gave her 1. And I decided I'm going to have the others since I got room. And it's not even 7 o'clock yet. So I thought I could go ahead and, you know, treat myself. It's allowed when you're following a macro plan. It's just when you follow the calorie deficit in there too, you got to be careful. But I had mostly just like a crap ton of protein today. So I didn't really even have that many carbs like at all. So I made sure I was able to fit that in, and it was fine. It wasn't a big deal. So you can make it work. Another thing too that I wanted to mention was that how, like, going back to the whole, yeah, I had to remind myself, I have 8 hours, don't rush. It's just, I know that there's certain parts of the day that I get really busy, and so, like, I know I can't squeeze in eating then, but it's just, like, again, I have 8 hours, like, my initial problem was I was trying to do 11 to 6, and I'm like, well, you technically should have, like, 8 hours to do this, not 7. And I'm home, like, at about 6:30-ish at the latest sometimes. So I'm like, well, I can't do 11 to 6 because sometimes from 5 to 6:30, I'm really busy and I can't fit something in, and I shouldn't have to do this or that. But anyways, I made it work. So it's doable. We'll see. Another thing I wanted to talk about too is I wanted to go back to the fact that I'm actually studying to have a stress management coach certification, because I want to put people on a healthy path mentally, so they can help deal with like any like anxiety issues like I have. I deal with anxiety and depression every day. Just kind of like focus on that too. So, in deciding to do with that, I'm sitting there and looking at other things and like realizing, okay, my classes are going to start next week too for school, so I can open my own business one day, to be able to do all these certifications and everything and have like a home base, because I want a space for other people too. And I'll get more into that later at some point. But anywho, to kind of touch base more on that and other things, I kind of got into this weird mode where I was realizing that there was a lot of stuff going on. Like, am I overdoing it? No, it wasn't that at all. It's the fact that my focus is still on other things it shouldn't need to be on anymore. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I felt like, and I didn't want to say it out loud because I was so scared to death. So scared to death to say I was in love with someone. And obviously it didn't work. They didn't want to be in a relationship with me. They actually were looking to see other people instead, and it just... That's what happened. So anyway, yeah, it's one of those things that happens in life, you know, where you get distracted because the reason why you wanted to be with this person is because you connected with them on a completely other level. Like me, I connected with them more than I connected with my first and longest relationship of my life. And so it's so hard to mentally process this sometimes that, like, they are not obviously in my life anymore-ish. I don't know. Like, every once in a while, I'll send them stuff over Messenger and this and that. I have friends that are like, just delete them, just delete them. I was like, well, if I delete them, they win. I mean, and I need to do this for me, not for them. You know? That's one thing I learned. And another thing is if they're truly my friend, then they're going to respond eventually and say something and want to be just friends. But if they're thinking they're holding on to the inkling, or I'm holding on to the inkling that I'll someday, like, want that I'm still waiting around for them, or, you know, something like that, then I want to give them the letdown of, well, you're wrong. You had a second chance. You blew it, and you blew it badly. And so this is my way of kind of testing the situation. Now, I'm not saying this is what others should do. This is a process that I'm learning. But this is helping me get over them, because the more they don't respond, I'm not getting hurt. I'm actually like, you're showing me who you really are. And granted, this is stuff that, like, I said to, like, other friends of mine too. Like, you know, when you click that certain amount of friends that are going to like a certain post or something, then that's kind of like what exactly you're doing, is you're just, you know what I'm saying. Anywho, so I was having this, I was responding to a question or a post or something the other day where one of my friends, she was like, according to certain experts, they're saying that if you're in an 8-month relationship, it'll take you 4 months to get over that relationship. I said, I completely disagree. It depends on the circumstances of the relationship and not the person that you're trying to get over. Like, for example, if you face abuse during that relationship, whether it be mental, physical, emotional, sexual, anything, that kind of stuff takes longer to get through, and you don't just get over it. And relationships are where a lot of that happens. And so it's just the circumstances of why the breakup needed to happen is what is hard to get through. Now, and some people are obviously more mentally prepared for that than others. Some have already gone through situations where they've had to deal with this kind of thing, and some are like, oh my god, not again, and others are just like, I've been through this before, I can't believe they did me like this, that's so wrong, and they move on. it depends on the person too, where they're at mentally and emotionally in their lives, and how far they've grown through other processes that happened beforehand. So anyways, kind of getting beyond that, we talked about other things too, like what I said, for example, was because of my last serious relationship where I had dealt with abuse and everything, I had no problem getting over the person. They were obviously like a piece of shit. It was just a situation that had occurred that was hard to get over. And so I haven't been in a serious relationship in 5 years. Because any inkling I get that something would go horribly wrong, I'd back the hell out. Or anytime I did get close to someone, they weren't getting close to me, and for some reason, those were the ones I was getting close with. So it kind of like made me want to rethink about what exactly is my perception on these situations. So for one, I would say like the one where it's just, am I subconsciously linking relationships to destruction? And so I'm purposely destructing it by either getting too involved or backing the out, you know? And again, it's your subconscious mind that does it. It's always on, it is always active, it is always going, but you just do not always realize it. Because you're thinking consciously that, well, man, I really want to be with this person. They're the one. They're amazing. They're this and they're that, obviously. And then, but you kind of see on the side that they're not as in it, and they're not talking about a relationship. They know how you feel, but they're not like reacting. That's where your subconscious kicks in and just thinks about, oh my gosh, the amazing things. But your conscious mind should be aware of exactly what they are doing. You see what I'm saying? So, kind of going forward in these situations, I need to realize a little bit more on where exactly my focus should be. So, one thing's for sure is I've been talking to guys, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm talking to multiple guys. I've been dating a couple, and nothing relationship-wise is happening. Now, I know for some that it's just one of those situations that's not gonna happen because I'm not connecting in ways I want to, and I honestly, it's in ways I really should. And so it's like there's too many of those red flags, if you will. So when you do have these certain kinds of red flags going on, then either they're not revealing something, which happens. Some guys don't want to talk about certain things, and I see that. Or it could be something else. It's, you don't know because, again, they're not talking about it. So anyway, getting back to other things, is that's because of this distraction of this, and it's not the guys I'm talking to now. I can obviously tell they're not distracting me. If they're not distracting me, it's because I'm not really that interested. Like, there's not enough interest there right now, and I honestly, like, need to back out while I can, or give some of it more time, because it's only been, like, this much time. You know, it kind of depends on the, again, it depends on the circumstances and the situations. I just need to analyze it and hurry up and get it done, because these are people. These are people that don't need to be fooled around with. We're all adults. We just need to talk shit out and figure out what it is that's going to happen. So anyway, because of the initial recent heartbreak, that's what's distracting me. And I think it's just because I'm so focused on that that's why I was immediately ready to attach myself to somebody else, because I'm like, oh my god, I need to have that connection again that I had with this person, because I'm not 100% over that person, and blah blah blah. And it's like, and this is the point where sometimes, and I don't care if you believe or not, but this is what I believe, prayer can really help, is you just need to believe and let go and let things just, let the, like they say, let the chips fall and see what happens. If you want to see more videos like this, please let me know. Keep watching. I'm here to inspire. I'm hoping. I'm here to motivate. I'm here to advocate. I'm here to do whatever I can to try to help others. Like, that is my big goals. And the big goals, yes, plural, in the end, is to be able to do all that. So, thank you guys. Appreciate it so much. Have a good one. Later.